I'm here with IPFW head men's volleyball coach Arnie Ball. And Arnie, last Thursday, you received a pretty significant honor being inducted into the AVCA Hall of Fame. Just talk about that and what that means to you.
Well, first of all, I'm not sure how many people know what the AVCA is. So it's the American Volleyball Coaches Association, which includes all coaches in the country and outside the country, for that matter. So it's a very nice award to be recognized by your peers for all the long days and nights and hours that you put in the last 45 years. Most people just think of my career as being here at IPFW with the men's and women's teams and the men's team, but I actually put in 15 years at the high school, both at Harding and New Haven High School, before I came here, and was coaching basketball and baseball and volleyball and anything else they would let me. So it's a tribute to all those kids that I've had, or not kids anymore, but kids that I've had throughout the last 45 years, and then of course here at IPFW with the outstanding program that we've put together here with men's volleyball.
Now, anybody that follows the program even remotely realizes that there's a family atmosphere here between your former players, friends of the program, family. Just talk about the importance of that and how they've helped you along the way.
Well, of course, the most important person in that family is my wife. For the last 44 years, have put up with all this stuff that I put her through. But having said that, we're so fortunate to have three very successful children, and of course the one that everybody knows is Loy, being an Olympic gold medal player and having played here and having his jersey retired, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess I can't thank my wife enough for helping me produce an Olympic player. But our family has always been very important, and this community has been very important. You know, I have been asked a number of times, you know, why I continue to stay at IPFW, and I tell them it's because Fort Wayne has been our home, Fort Wayne has been our family, Fort Wayne has been our community, and the university has been very good to me.
Now, you mentioned earlier about the peers selecting you to the this honor, and you seem like somebody that very much just wants to help the game of volleyball. You're always giving, you know, helping out somebody in need. Even if you don't see the other coach, you'll go over and, you know, give them words of encouragement. Talk about the importance of just growing the game like you've been doing over the past 30-some years.
Well, it's an old cliche, Billy, that you know, we do this because of the young people and the people we get to work with. And I've been very fortunate to work with Olympic level athletes all the way down to junior high level athletes, and I think that the opportunity to work with them and possibly have just a very small significant influence on their life, maybe their life choices, is really what this thing is all about. And when you do that and you share the game, and I've had a chance to share it once again at the Olympic level all the way down to junior high level with coaches, with players, with administrators, it doesn't matter. And I think that they see the love that you have for not only the game but for the people involved in the game, that it becomes infectious, it becomes contagious, it becomes what you hope it will become as you devoted your life to a love of this particular game that I've chosen.
Now let's go back a little bit. What got you into the game of volleyball, and what kind of piqued your interest, both when you were a player at Ball State and then wanting to help teach the game?
Well, I didn't get exposed to the game until I was at Southmore in college. I played high school. We didn't have high school. That's not true. We did have high school volleyball when I was in high school, but I worked for my dad on the farm, so I didn't get to play. And I got to play basketball because it was in the winter and we weren't farming at that time. So when I got down to Ball State, I actually played 1 year of baseball, and then the ball got too small for me to hit, so I thought I'd go to a bigger ball. And Coach Shondell, who I have to thank for getting me started, had me in a physical education class for volleyball and asked if I'd be interested in trying out. He also happens to be from my hometown, so we had a tie that way, and so I said, sure. You know, I've never played before, but I wanted something to do down at Ball State, and so he gave me an opportunity, and I fell in love with the game, and I played competitively up until I was 46, and of course got involved in coaching at Harding High School with volleyball because I coached basketball at New Haven, and then came here, and you know, I guess the rest is history.
Now, you've had a long and storied career here. You've had titles, women's volleyball coach, men's volleyball coach, athletic director, assistant athletic. There's not much you haven't done here at IPFW. Is there one memory here that really stands out?
Oh my goodness, Billy, there's so many. But just from a men's volleyball standpoint, the one that stands out would be in 1994 when we had UCLA here, and we had about 3,000 people in this building, and it was televised live on NBC regionally, because to my knowledge, it's the first time and only time that's ever been done. So that game always comes back up with people that we talked to that were here. And of course, at that time, I had to be the athletic director at the same time, so it was a nice coup for the boss as well as for the coach and the players. And certainly there have been many, many others with our women's team going to the NCAA tournaments and so on and so forth. But the biggest memory and the best memories are when all the kids, all the alums come back and we get a chance to tell all the old stories, and we lie to one another and have a great time, and they tell me how much they loved me even though they really hated me when they were here. You know, those are the best memories by far.
Well, that's a great tribute too. You know, when they're here, they probably think of you differently. When they leave, they realize, wow, he really did, you know, teach me. Is that what you're trying to instill in the players?
Well, in all the years I've been a teacher and a coach, I never ever believed that I was their friend while they were here or while they were in my classroom. I was the teacher, I was the coach, I was a mentor, I was whatever they wanted me to be, but I wasn't their friend. Once they get out of here, once they get done playing, once they get out of my classroom, then it's a different story. And I think that's a little bit of an issue we have with our society and our country, is the fact that we don't have the respect that we need to have for the opportunities that we're given and that we take advantage of them. And so when kids come here, and I'm a little bit of a taskmaster, once they get out of here, they figure, just like I did. I was the same way when I went to school. You know, I'm going, why in the world is this guy doing this to me? Especially the baseball coach. I threw up so many times at baseball practice. I'm going, I'm not on a track team, I'm on the baseball team. But I certainly appreciate what Coach Latham did for me down there and what Coach Shondell did for me. And I learned that lesson very early. And I think that's an important lesson for people going into education, people going into coaching, people who are parents. It's not about being your friend until that young person learns what that environment's all about. They get out on their own, they go, now I understand.